Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. There are now over 5,000 free channels and almost 2,000 streaming in the United States alone, 5,000 worldwide. We'll break down all this free content and how you can watch a bunch of content for free without needing to pay for things like Netflix, Paramount Plus, and more. Also, Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV is going to be coming out for just $15 a month. There's a catch to it. We'll break that down in a second. And Dish is selling some of their buildings to help cut costs and raise money. It's being sold to the owner of Dish. What's exactly happening there? We'll break it down. Now we're going to talk about these stories a whole lot more in a second. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each story there so you can read them for yourself. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We'll really appreciate it. It lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. With that said, let's dive into it. Including, there are now over 5,000 channels worldwide, free streaming online legally. And in the United States, almost 2,000 with 1,493 streaming free. Now this comes a report from the Gavin Bridge, who broke down over 18 different free streaming services, looking at all the channels there. Now he did not count duplicates. Like if The Price is Right is on the Roku channel and on Pluto TV, that only counts as one free channel, for example. With that, he said worldwide, there are 5,264 channels. In the United States, there are just under 2,000. I've said this many, many times, but it's very true. The quality of the content on these ad-free streaming services are significantly better than it's ever been before. It really is. Because of that, you really should give it a second try. If you tried it even a year ago, you're like, I don't really like this content. Give it another try. Increasingly, as services like Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and others have ads, why not take a look at all the free ones out there that include all these great content? Some of the big ones, I've done lists of, but you got like the Roku channel, Freevee, Plex, Local Now, Pluto TV, Tubi, and Crackle, Redbox. There's so many others out there right now that you really should try and take a look at. They're 100% free, ad supported. I really enjoy them. So question today, what's your favorite free channel from these services? Leave me a comment, let me know. I want to hear from you. But with that, again, if it's been a while, give them a try again. I really love the new Price is Right. It's not so new anymore. Bob Barker years, the 24/7 feed there. It's a lot of fun. I just wish they would tell you what year the show was. I think that would make the price guessing game, participating along a little easier. All right, next story up. Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus will cost just $15 a month to Comcast customers. Now, you need to be a Comcast TV or Airnet. So cord cutters with Comcast Airnet will be able to take advantage of this. They're calling this the Stream Saver Bundle. This is the Xfinity Stream Saver Bundle, And it's kind of a little bit of an answer to what Spectrum is doing. Spectrum is giving free streaming services to some of their TV customers. Comcast is instead giving all the channels that Spectrum dropped, but also giving you an ability to get discount streaming. Honestly, if you subscribe already to one, or honestly two or more of these, I should say, this is a really good deal. If you're already a Netflix and Peacock subscriber, or Netflix and Apple TV subscriber, this is a good bundle. Now, it is the basic plan, the most basic one with it, but it'll save you about $100 a year versus paying for all three of these on your own. A really nice setup with it. Now, Comcast is hoping two things. A, this helps lock you in. They're facing a lot of pressure, especially on the internet side, from 5G home internet. This may be something that, T-Mobile and Verizon 5G home internet don't have this bundle, so maybe you'll stay with them even if the internet costs a little bit more, get faster internet, and a discount on streaming. For the streaming side of it, though, for Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus, they're likely hoping this will result in more long-term subscribers. Churn, as they call it, the people subscribing for a month or two, then canceling, is becoming a major issue for streaming services. Now with this, though, they could, for example, go and try to lock you in, because even if you're not watching Netflix this month, maybe Peacock you are, or maybe Apple TV. And because of that, you may be willing to pay for the whole bundle, helping them generate some revenue they would not have otherwise if you had just left and gone a different place. Be very interested to see how this goes. I expect more bundles like this to come, and they're not exactly new. I, with my Verizon plan, still am grandfathered into the free Disney Plus bundle. And I'm probably going to stick with this until it goes away, but I get Disney Plus, Hulu on demand, and ESPN Plus free with my wireless plan. Honestly, that's a really good deal because I use ESPN Plus and Disney Plus all the time I'm not going to be switching plans. I think Comcast is hoping a similar offering will help lock people in. Dish has been in talks about a possible bankruptcy for some time. Very interesting to see how this plays out. Now, Moffett-Nathanson expects that in the next few months we could easily see Dish go into bankruptcy. I'm not so sure about the next few months, but this year, unless they find some new funding, could be ending up in bankruptcy. Well, some of that funding may be coming from their own owner in kind of a deal to buy the building. So Dish is selling some of its wireless headquarters buildings in Denver to its majority owner, to a company he owns, for $26.75 million. So this injects $27 million and change into Dish Wireless, helping them continue to build out their system and keep the company running. This was spotted in an SEC filing, first reported by by 9 Denver News. Very interesting to see them do this. Not uncommon. Allows the owner of Dish to invest money into Dish, but basically get assets. He's buying the buildings into another company he owns, putting some of his own money, or maybe putting a mortgage on it, however he's doing that. I'm sure he's got accountants and lawyers finding the best way to do it. But allows him to basically inject money into it without having to pay a lot of money on it. We'll have to see how this all plays out, but Dish needs a lot of money to finish their build out. Billions of dollars. They've been struggling to find investors. They want to finish the build out in the next few years. We'll see how it plays, but Dish is trying to become a wireless company to focus on running their own network like T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T do, instead of having to lease it in many areas, having their own network to run it there. All right, if you are a fan of free content, like we were talking about earlier, the Roku channel, speaking of channels, added 6 new channels this week. This includes a National Lampoon channel with nothing but National Lampoon, and a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Some of the other ones include UNTV, American Ninja, Miramax Movies, and more. Full list over at CoreCarsNews.com. This comes after a few channels were added last month, including, or a few weeks ago, PBS Retro, which is nothing but retro PBS content. A lot of people really enjoyed that because I think it's what you grew up with. You know, the nostalgia factor with there is very strong. A lot of people have been checking it out. If you want to see the full list, check the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. All right. I get a lot of messages about, I would love to bail on my Comcast provider, but I have no other options. Yes, it is true that some people really do not have other options for internet providers. But with the growth of Cord Cutting 2.0, you'd be surprised at how many options you are. So we sat down and wrote a full post breaking out all the options to cancel Comcast and stream online. Number 1, your phone company. I know a lot of people, when I say switch your internet from a cable to a phone, they think slow DSL. Most phone companies have replaced their DSL networks with fiber. I know not everywhere, but the vast majority. AT&T is trying to shut down their DSL, replace it with their 5G home internet or fiber out there. Give them a try. I think you would be surprised what your phone company now has, because it's probably fiber in the vast majority of everybody here. 5G home internet. I know a lot of you use it. Leave me a comment. Do you use 5G home internet? Do you like it? Leave me a comment. Let me know. It is rolling out in many areas. I know for a while I didn't have it here. I now have T-Mobile and so other providers here with it. The speeds of it are more than enough to stream content. Very happy with it. I've had no problem in our testing of 5G home internet. Verizon, T-Mobile, and other places are the biggest. Check them out. Link in the show notes down below. SpaceX Starlink Internet and other satellite internet services are great options. Check it out. Link in the show notes down below with that if you want to find out more. But Starlink satellite internet. I have a good friend lived in kind of a rural area where there was cable internet, but he was sick of it. Switched to Starlink, and for him, 100% everything he needs it to do. He's very happy with it, happier than he was with his cable internet service. Yes, it can be pricey, but if you live in a more rural area, let's be honest, the cable internet was also very pricey. Lastly, you may be surprised about how many fiber options there are. I know many of us just assume there's the phone company. I actually live in a neighborhood where they're running fiber down the street for other providers and other options. Don't be afraid to ask in like a neighborhood Facebook group, Nextdoor, or other social media, hey, neighbors, what do you use? I think you'd be amazed. There's a growing number of small fiber companies rolling out across the United States. Yes, they're struggling in larger cities. I'll explain why in a minute, but check it out. So why do larger cities get these first? Well, it's because there's a large investment. It's very expensive to run fiber down the streets and connect to everything. If I run it in a rural area, I may run a mile and connect 1 or 2 customers in a very rural area. If I run it in a major city, I can run a mile or two, connect dozens of customers to that same mile there. Especially if you hit like an apartment complex, a duplex, and more, you can get maybe even 50 plus customers in 2 miles of cable runs. Look for that to become more and more common. So, question of the day, what internet provider do you use? Have you broken completely free? Have you joined the cord cutting 2.0 movement? Not only canceled your cable television, but canceled your cable internet? Leave me a comment, let me know. Hey, if you have a question for me, I'd love to answer them. Leave me a comment. Start off with something like a question for Luke. Sometimes I answer them in comments, sometimes I answer them here. If I don't answer your question, please re-ask, and I'll do my best to answer them. But keep them coming. I really do appreciate it. No Q&A today. I got to run and get my daughter to gymnastics. I've been in meetings all afternoon. I'll be back again tomorrow. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you for your support. 10 years. Thank you everybody who left me comments over the weekend. I know I talked a little bit about our 10-year anniversary recently. Hard to believe it's been over 5 years now since the Cord Cutting Today show started. I know we had a little break when I wasn't around, but I'm back. It's been a lot of fun, and it's now been over a year again since the Cord Cutting Todays restarted. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I'll see you all again real soon. Take care. Be safe. Have a fantastic day, everybody.